Which Mavericks newcomers will have the biggest impact this year? Plus, we continue our movie club today as we review the movie Blue Chips. All that and more coming up next on the DLLS Mavs podcast, presented by the Zaccharie Law Firm. Hey, what's up? It's the DLLS Mavs podcast presented by the Zaccharie Law Firm. If you or someone you love ever find yourself saying, I just got hit, call the official law sponsor of the Dallas Mavericks, the Zaccharie Law Firm. Call 214-I-GOT-HIT or visit IJustGotHit.com. Kevin Gray alongside our DLLS Mavs beat writer Ron Harad Jr., our DLLS Mavs analyst Bobby Krell, and our national NBA insider Mark Stein. We are DLLS Mavs, your favorite guys covering your favorite team, especially with some newcomers could have some impact on this Mavericks team this upcoming season. Which one of those will have the biggest impact for your Mavericks this upcoming year? There was a big trade that happened yesterday in the association. We'll go around the Stein line a little bit, and we'll continue our movie club review today as we look at the basketball classic Blue Chips. We'll review that a little bit later on in our show on this terrific Thursday afternoon. Ron Harad Jr., what's going on?
Doing good, everybody. Middle of the week. Actually getting towards the end of the week.
Yeah, we're toward the end of the week now.
So, you know what? I'm getting a little excited. Blue Chips also was great. Actually need to – I hope my dad's watching because I meant to call him. He told me, I can't believe I didn't show you this movie. This is a classic. So I did watch it. I have thoughts. He was very disappointed in himself, as he should be. So
Damn.
No, but I can't wait to talk about it. It was fun.
You and your father need to go to some therapy or something? Like, what's going on here? Good gracious, man. Bobby Krell, what's going on?
Just don't check your stocks today. Just don't do it.
Nope.
Otherwise, doing pretty well. Hanging out. We got Wings post game later tonight.
We do.
The curse continues, KJ. I'm not going to lie. We have now decided several days, I'm talking even a week in advance, we're going to do a pod this day, and then either the day before or the day of the show, something horrible happens.
That's right.
So AZ's injury is our fault. Her season-long absence is our fault. And it's just on with the show with tears in our eyes.
Wings Fever tonight at the American Airlines Center. Tip off at 7 p.m. At the AAC. So Caitlin Clark, Paige Becker's going to be showing out on the floor tonight in Dallas. Mark Stein, what's going on?
Hi, guys. Sorry, answering some messages.
I like the stand you got for your phone. That's new-ish, right?
It's an old stand, but I'm trying to.
I mean, like a new introduction into the.
Well,
No, he had it last show.
Yeah, I brought it last show
because
I don't want to have to hold the phones the whole time. But
Yeah, probably good for your wrists too, I would assume.
Wrists are fine. It's just.
I'm just saying, hold the phone all the time.
It's noon, so there's a lot of messages and calls coming in.
Okay. We'll get to
anything good.
Yeah. James Harden and the Cavs just did their deal finally.
Oh, wow. Okay. We'll talk about that a little bit as well. As there was a big trade that happened last night in the association that also involved the Cavs and has some Western Conference implications as well. Speaking of the West, that's where your Mavs reside, of course, as they have several newcomers that are on this team looking to make an impact this season, whether it's Santi Aldama, whether it's former number 1 overall pick Zaccharie Risacher, Marcus Sasser, Tarek Baberovich. There's a lot of new guys and new faces on this team looking to help Cooper Flagg and Kyrie Irving climb up the Western Conference standings this upcoming season. So I'll pose a question to you in the chat and to our esteemed panel today. Which of these Mavericks newcomers, Ron Harad Jr., will have the biggest or could potentially have the biggest impact on the Mavericks this upcoming season?
Yeah, so for today, I wanted to pick somebody different and somebody I didn't think anyone else would pick. So I picked Marcus Sasser. You know, a player that I feel like we don't
Bobby
talk.
Choked up already. Good gracious, man.
Oh my God!
Wow. Jeez.
You okay, man?
I think he's alive.
I literally just choked on spit.
He heard the name Marcus Sasser.
He heard Marcus Sasser.
It's like,
and
you know what?
It was just
Violent,
violent,
man. He was offended by
was
that.
legit red. It went down the wrong pipe.
Just raged Bobby Carella. there. Good
Wow, I'm
gracious.
sorry.
That was
Continue. By the way, how much you work out? God, man.
So,
Jeez, man.
on that note,
Goodness.
I decided to pick a player today, everybody, that I think other people would pick, and his name is Marcus Sasser.
Oh, wow.
I decided
Okay.
to pick Sasser because I thought that he provided a very interesting skill set that really isn't that, kind of much on the Mavericks roster. So he took essentially 60% of his shots last year, which he didn't play much, but 60% of his shots for Detroit were from beyond the arc, were 24 or more feet. So he shot 41.5% on those attempts. Now, it wasn't, again, an extreme volume because he didn't play a ton. But from the corners, he was over 16% on above league average in both corners. I think that could be valuable. Just from the top of the keys is a pure, shot creator from above the arc, plus 10%, on just, real true shooting percentage. And I think even though he shot bad, this is from, his right side. If you're facing the basket, the right side, that's kind of where he shot the worst from three, even though it was on lower volume. I think that if you're playing with a Kyrie Irving, a Cooper Flagg, then that can really help him. So just by having that extreme high volume frequency, he's like, Brandon Williams, like the opposite of his game, while B. Will's always getting downhill and getting to the rim, and that's most of his shots. Most of Sasser's shots will be from beyond the arc. So they're almost kind of like switching, archetypes in, smaller backup point guards. And just because we know Kyrie Irving is likely not going to play, 70-plus games or something crazy like that, then Sasser's going to play some games. And I wouldn't even be shocked if, like, on the back half of the season, if he starts a game or two.
I think, okay, I'm going to try and do this. Stein, I now totally understand your struggle at times this past season.
Yes.
It's like you just have to press on and just fight through it.
Yeah.
Sasser is like if Brandon Williams was a little less polished, but also Jaden Hardy, kind of, but like more restrained than Jaden Hardy. I don't really know how to describe it. Like, I think he like has a better understanding of his own limitations than Hardy, but also he has the physical profile of Brandon Williams. I think he's a pretty interesting player. I'm going to go with Santi Aldama just because I think he's really good. I think he's going to end up starting maybe on opening night, maybe by the end of the year. But, I think he's the most dynamic big offensively, or most versatile big offensively they have on the team. And if he can, he's like a fine defender. If he can just be a fine to above average defender, I think that he's going to have a lot of chances to play a lot of minutes. I think he's going to provide spacing for a lot of guys. I think his on-offs are going to be pretty interesting to follow all year, and I look forward to doing just that. I think he's going to make a huge impact.
And Mark, Santi Aldama sounds like he's going to be healthy and available by the time he gets
that was so yesterday the Spanish national team announced that Santi Aldama will not be playing in their 2 games in the next FIBA window. Starting next week through August 30th, there will be a slew of World Cup qualifying games all across the world, but in Europe, it's amazing. Some of the really good play. Jokic is playing, Wemby is playing. Jokic and Wemby are actually playing today in what amounts to a friendly warm-up game before the window starts. I think we were all excited at the prospect of seeing Sergio Del Rey and Santi play together for Spain in 2 national team games. And then Spain announced yesterday that Santi Aldama will not participate. They're not even replacing him on the roster. He's just out. When I checked on it here, the word I got here is the expectation in Dallas is that Aldama will be ready for the start of training camp. He had that surgery in mid-March on his right knee, so it will have been 6 full months by the time camp starts. Remember, the Mavs and the Rockets are the only 2 teams that get to start camp early in the whole NBA because they're playing the 2 games in Macau. So according to league rules, both the Mavs and the Rockets have the right to do their media day as early as September 22nd. I think it'll actually be later in the Mavs case for media day, but September 23rd is the first day that those teams are allowed to practice. Everybody else in the league cannot have their first official team practice until September 29th. My anticipation is the Mavs will obviously take if you get that opportunity, you take it. So I would imagine the Mavs will be starting practices around September 23, have a couple days of practices, likely proceed into media day from there, and then they'll be slightly ahead of the curve because of course both Houston and Dallas have to get on a very long plane ride to Macau before they play. October 9 and 11, I want to say, are the dates of those exhibition games.
I think that Aldama could also make a big impact if he's hurt or misses time, because no other bigs on the team can do what he does. Whereas there's a lot of skill overlap with all the other players, so if one guy goes down, you might not necessarily feel it as much. If he goes down, he's your only guy taller than like 6'8" that can shoot 35% from three, so they'd feel that one for sure.
I'm going to take it outside the box a little bit. I'm going to pull a Mark Stein, go outside the box a little bit. I'm going to go with Dusty May as the biggest newcomer that's going to impact this team this upcoming year. The entire regime change around this group has been vast, from the very top with Masai Ujiri to the GM with Mike Schmitz, and obviously taking a chance on a first-time NBA head coach straight out of the college ranks after coming off a national championship, and what the team will look like from a skill standpoint, from a philosophy standpoint. Dusty May recently said that he wants his team to be the best passing team in the NBA. They want to get up and down the floor, play with physicality on the defensive end. How this team looks like and is molded in his image, I think is going to be fascinating to watch and chronicle as we get into training camp and the practices coming at the end of September and into preseason, and obviously into the regular season, because the brand of basketball that he had at Florida Atlantic was completely different than the brand of basketball that he had in Michigan, and it could look completely different, obviously, given the skill sets and the players that he has here in Dallas. So what he decides to make this team look like in his image, I think is going to be really fun to watch. Like Dusty May has a chance to really impact this group in a number of different ways, obviously being the head coach of this team. So interested to see how that continues to go forward for him. Some of the folks in the chat named Zaccharie Risacher. I'm surprised when none of us named Zaccharie Risacher as far as one of the players that we think might have the biggest impact. Trell with Zaccharie has a lot to prove and will. Austin says that Zach is going to have the biggest impact this season. I anticipate 15 to 16 points per game at minimum by the end of the season.
It's a lot of points.
Will he have the many minutes to get 15 to 16 points per game?
What's his career? What's the highest he averaged in his first two seasons?
Like 12, 11 maybe.
So Risacher in his
13.
first.
What did he do as a rookie?
Let me see, exactly.
So
he had a strong second half to his rookie season. So.
He's only averaged 11 points per game so far in his first couple of seasons. 11.1 points per game in 142 career games. So that'd be a big jump.
What did he do as a rookie?
12.6.
So
it was 9.6
okay.
yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, last season.
And last year only averaged 9.6. So 15 to 16 would be a big jump for Zaccharie Risacher.
Yeah, I mean, look, if he, is hitting this offseason hard, which it seems like he is, as I guess every player is posting, but if he is doing that and he does improve and he gets out to a hot start, they'll definitely want to play him enough minutes to get him there, because he probably is going to play again the 2 and the 3 for this team. This team would probably love to move Cooper Flagg at a 3-4, and he would give them the versatility to maybe add Max Strus also on the floor with them. That would give them more versatility and more shooting around like Flagg and Kyrie Irving, and hopefully Morez or just whoever is the big in that lineup. But he would have to take just a good little leap next season to probably do that.
Austin 140 in chat says, side note, as a Hawks fan, I've watched nearly every one of Zach's NBA games.
So what's his take?
Which raises the question. He's the
one that said that? Oh.
He's the one who said Zach will average 15 to 16 points a game, but doesn't it raise the question, although we're grateful for the support and interest, why is a Hawks fan avidly watching our show?
This is a great show.
And Zaccharie Risacher is now a member of the Mavericks.
Yes.
I mean, we got a Wizards fan on the show.
Well,
a jacked Wizards fan.
He will fight us for Bradley Beal.
What is the deal? So what are you working out for? Let's just get to the bottom.
What
is the goal?
Stay in good shape.
What is the goal? What are you trying to do?
He's got a grueling.
Well, right now I'm just trying to get healthy. Now, I mean, with my back.
You're healthy, so you've gone beyond health. I thought when you get ripped like that, like you just burn calories sitting there.
Well, on this show we've chronicalized We've chronicled
We've chronicled
my back injury. I feel like on the show, so like everyone knows the process, the progress, everything I've done. We talked about the PRP because players get the PRP. I've got the PRP before. It's not medical advice, as Jason Kidd says. We're not doctors, but we've talked about that. So yeah, right now, like today, doing a little stretcher. In some ways, I resonate with the Derek Lavis of the world. It's like I just wish I just felt like 2 years ago. And Derek Lively literally probably thinks the same. Like, dang, Derek Lively probably the point that I can imagine where 2 years ago, he's like, dang, I woke up every day and my foot just felt normal. And like, it really sucks to wake up every morning and be like, dang, I don't feel like how I felt 2 years ago. Like, it's not even like anything you just had just because of maybe one day you stepped, for Lively, he had a bad injury, he had to have multiple surgeries. So that's why when we talk about like Lively or any player, Caleb Martin, his hip, and we talked about that, how that hurt him, like to know that one day I was this way, the next day now I'm this way, that's a really tough thing, and it's really tough to go through. So that's why I resonate with a lot of those guys, and that's why I'm working out, Mark Stein.
And your back feels better?
It feels better than last year, October. Yeah.
Well, good.
That's good.
Yeah.
And also, thank you for the support. We appreciate you supporting us here at the DLLS Mavs podcast and DLLS Cowboys as well. Coming up next on the other side of the break, we dial up the Stein line a little bit. The Cavaliers making some noise last night and today, but also it affecting a Western Conference team.
Shout out Sekou Smith. Thank you, Austin 140.
For sure. We'll discuss what it means for the Western Conference and more coming up next on the DLLS Mavs podcast presented by the Godsey Law Firm. It's never a convenient time to get into a car accident. You're on your way to school, you're running some errands, you're on your way to work, and then bam! You find yourself in the middle of an unwarranted accident. In fact, before this podcast is over, another accident will be reported on a North Texas road, but that's where my friends at the Godsey Law Firm come in. They want to handle your case from start to finish. Not like insurance companies who want to make you a number. They want to get your case, handle it as quickly as possible, and move on to the next one. With the Godsey Law Firm, they provide experienced advocacy, personalized service, and relentless preparation. They want to level the playing field for all injured Texans, and they want to give you the justice that you need, know, and deserve. So if you or someone you love ever find yourself saying, I just got hit, it's not just a slogan, it's a moment that deserves experience guidance. Called the official law sponsor of the Dallas Mavericks, the Godsey Law Firm. Call 214-I-GOT-HIT or visit IJustGotHit.com. Again, that's 214-I-GOT-HIT or visit IJustGotHit.com with the Godsey Law Firm.
Prize Picks is one of the, if not the most fun way to watch sports. Choose between 2 and 6 players, whether they record more or less than their projected stats. And if you're a believer and they ball out, hey, that's putting some money in your pocket. If you're a hater and they don't have a good game, you can also have a fantastic night. It is the best WNBA, MLB, NFL preseason going on right now. We got the real thing right around the corner. Same for basketball. Alana Smith for the Wings. She's turned a corner lately, starting to put up more numbers. Maybe you're a big Alana believer and you want to have a little fun tonight as they take on the Fever. Well, you can do just that. Prize Picks offers early payout features. If your pick gets off to a great start, well, hey, they'll offer you money up front. You can just put that right in your pocket and go on with your life, or you can let it ride, or you can use our promo code DLLS with submitting your first $5 lineup to win $150 instantly to use on lineups. Again, $150 instantly in lineups if you win your first $5 lineup on Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks app.
Welcome back to the DLLS Mavs podcast presented by the Godsey Law Firm. I'm going to dial up the Stein line here in just a moment as some business in the NBA continues to take place. Plus, we'll be reviewing the classic Blue Chips as we continue our movie club series as we take a look at Blue Chips when we start Nick Nolte, Shaquille O'Neal, and others. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to DLLS Sports. Join the over 47,100 subscribers here at DLLS Sports. Also, you can find our podcast wherever you get your podcast for free. Just search DLLS Mavs, give it a 5-star rating, and write a review for it while you're there. As we dial up the Stein line here on our program today, business in the NBA. Mark Stein, even into
mid. We got the full legal in chat.
Oh wow, who was that? Uh-oh, you got a family. You got a family member.
That's a Diamond in the chat. That's how you spell her name.
Oh, that's your girl in the chat? Oh, dang. That's a whole government name. Put that on up there. Yeah, put that on up there. Yeah.
I don't I don't think I replied to her message. That's probably why.
Oh wow. Oh, you should have said something.
There are some people in life you can't leave on red.
You
Ron.
definitely can.
No,
I've learned that from Mark Stein. Actually.
Ron leaves us on red all the time. He just constantly ignores us.
That's right.
You know, this is a bridge too far.
Dwayne, though?
It's my middle name, Dwayne.
Wow.
Sadly, it's spelled like that, but
not sadly.
Why is that sadly?
You and your daddy need to talk.
It's better than being spelled like Dwayne Wade, who was voted the number 2 villain in DFW sports history today by our diehards.
Oh, nice.
We should have talked about that, but we'll maybe talk about that tomorrow. But yeah, we actually have bonded over that.
Oh, okay.
But that's a long story.
He didn't text you. He didn't text you.
You
didn't text him back?
Doghouse. Ron, you can crash on my couch if you need to.
See, she was trying to figure out where you was at. You not keeping up where was she at? Where you at?
No, I know where she is.
She says she don't know where you at.
Just a little double check.
Oh,
a little double check.
Dang. Well, sound like somebody on the hook for some dinner and something tonight. Look at you. Ruh-roh. Shout out to you. Just imagine when you get married, how it's going to get 10 times. Yeah, just imagine.
Casey does make that call before every show.
Look here, brother. Hey, you got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do. Speaking of a married man, I don't know how to transition that. It was fine.
I mean, you can lie.
Speaking of an old man
who's been married for a long time as well. What's going on in Cleveland? Cleveland, a lot of business last night, today. Peyton Watson?
August 19th, 7 p.m., trying to have a rare family dinner.
Speaking of family.
And trades. There's trade. I mean, this summer has been crazy. Like, it's still, like, there really has been. I mean, yes, we're not getting 5 transactions a day, but, you know, I reported, so last Friday, the Cavs started this chain. Their goal was to find trades for Schroeder and Strus so they could afford to bring in Peyton Watson on a sign and trade. In all candor, I wasn't sure that it was going to happen this fast. The Schroeder part, they worked for weeks on, and oh gosh, I'm getting.
You gotta step off.
No, it's fine.
Well, I could bloviate for a minute. If
yeah, I mean, we got thoughts on this trade. We got thoughts.
So the Schroeder part they figured out. Schroeder to Charlotte,
yes.
But they wanted to turn it all into one big transaction.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I have to say, Peyton Watson wanted Christian Brown in last October got 125 over 5. So 25 mil.
He did.
Peyton Watson wanted more than that, but in this marketplace, when there's no cap space, it's really hard to do. So the fact that Peyton Watson was able to get 22 mil over 4
good money
is a pretty good effort in restricted free agency. And if you go back to last summer and think about how long it took for resolutions on Kuminga and Giddey, Cam Thomas took the qualifier, Quentin Grimes went all the way to the buzzer. Like, that took all summer. So Jalen Duren still doesn't have a deal in Detroit, and Benedict Mathurin, his future is still undecided. But
Kuminga,
Kessler, Quentin Post, Tari Eason, and now Peyton Watson, like, those restricted free agencies moved pretty quickly, all things considered. And Kessler was Kessler. It's amazing how quickly the trade to the Lakers happened. But, you know, James Harden, basically, we've known James Harden was going to re-sign with Cleveland going all the way back to the trade deadline. But James Harden waited. He showed a lot of patience and got rewarded for that patience today. Because on Sunday, I reported a source close to the Harden situation saying soonish. The Harden deal will be finalized soonish.
Mm-hmm.
So they clearly, in Harden's camp, had a hint that this Watson trade was closer than advertised and that it could get done. But yeah, I mean, Jokic, I mean, our DNVR guys, I haven't watched their emergency pod from yesterday, but I can
horrible.
I watched a little bit yesterday.
I can imagine the tone because Denver's goal going into this offseason was to get younger, more athletic, improve defensively. Peyton Watson was their best in-house answer on all of that, and they've now signed and traded him away
for nothing.
For basically nothing. Yeah.
Look, they are the Nuggets. The Nuggets drafted Jokic with the 41st pick, which is arguably the greatest draft pick in NBA history to get a multi-time MVP that low. So they have earned a lot of the good fortune and goodwill, but Jokic to this point in his career has applied so little pressure as a franchise player. But now Jokic himself, through his own words, Jokic has repeatedly said, I want to be a Nugget forever. I'm not going anywhere. But he has now delayed an extension 2 summers in a row. And so this is going to be a story, whether the Nuggets want it to be or not. Even if Jokic is absolutely determined to stay right where he is, how can you not be nervous if you're the Nuggets?
Yeah.
Certainly if you're a Nuggets fan, that Jokic has delayed an extension again, and this summer has not gone to plan. Now, they're going to try to sign DeMar DeRozan as a stopgap. But, like, they're not
Yikes, man.
They're not getting younger and more athletic. And Jokic is playing Wemby today. I don't know. It'll all be in Serbian post-game. But I really hope there is a question to Mr. Jokic about, what do you think of the Nuggets summer so far? And I don't know that we'll get a candid answer, but I would be most interested to hear what Jokic has to say.
He'd be like, my horse won a championship. That's all. That's all that matters.
I mean, it's interesting. I just watching the deals around the league, if you're a Mavericks fan, you should be like, the Mavs did pretty good this offseason.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just respectfully, like, based on just what the deals you've seen this offseason, is there, like, any deals that, like, were realistic that you think the Mavericks could have actually gone after? Because Peyton Watson's a player, if they just really, really tried to land, they could have maybe moved some stuff around, maybe try to shed a little bit of salary to sign him to that same deal. Would you have wanted that for that many years? Like, that's a genuine question. Would Mavs fans have wanted that? And I'd be interested to know, like, what do you all think? And just seeing, like, James Harden got over $30 million per year. I have no clue how he got that deal. I mean, I haven't looked up his agency, but shout out to whoever is that, because he's like pulling like late, Kirk Cousins career numbers right now, where it's like, how in the world does Kirk Cousins keep doing it?
He's still a good player.
And so was Kirk, but it's like, how does Kirk keep doing it? Like, I don't know. Like, Kirk has now got another deal from the Raiders. And people are like, how does he keep doing it? Like, he's better than Kirk Cousins, clearly. But it's just like these late career players that continue to get these balloon deals. And it's like Harden cannot play in the playoffs anymore. So, again, I ask you, Mavericks fans, is there any deal that you saw this all season that you're like, man, I really wish the Mavericks signed this player, like James Harden, for 3 years with a player option and a trade kicker?
I think it's a sign and trade where both teams got worse. Like, Peyton Watson is a downgrade from Max Strus, Dean Wade, Dennis Schroeder, and a first-round pick. Like, that's the only other guy Cleveland added, right? Like, they did not add any other, unless it was on a minimum or a draft pick or whatever. Like, they lost 3, depending on how you feel about Dennis Schroeder, at least 2 super valuable role players, and Dennis Schroeder is still, in my opinion, a very good backup point guard. And a first-round pick. And all they got
Peyton Watson has to become what
he's got to be incredible.
He's Jordan.
Not Jordan, but
he has to be incredible.
He's got to be a 2-way star at some point down the road.
To lose all of that.
Well, look, in January, it's a very small sample size, but in January when Jokic was hurt, he was outstanding.
He was outstanding.
He won a player of the week in that span. He's got to become that guy all the time. To justify the outlay
he's going to be trying to, establish himself in the league and make a name for himself and do all this stuff while playing with 2 guys that have the ball in their hands a lot and 2 bigs that don't shoot. Like, I don't see that team working at all. They have no bench. Denver, meanwhile, loses Peyton Watson, gets nothing for it except for a 2031 first rounder.
Congrats.
Which all that does is allow them to trade a 2031 first rounder. They have one tradable pick.
Because they're still in the second apron.
It's either their own or Cleveland's in 2031, and then they can trade some swaps, but like that's it. So unless they have some other follow-up deal lined up where they can now trade a future first-rounder and Christian Brown and some other stuff to get some guys in there, like both teams involved in this sign and trade got worse. Both teams got thinner. Both teams lost depth. Neither team added like any assets or any. I cannot believe Cleveland did that, and I really feel sorry for Nuggets fans because they are owned by one of the richest people on earth.
Yes.
And they are just like, you know what? Please get cheaper. Please become cheaper. I don't like any of y'all leave.
The Rams
Tim Hardaway
don't
Jr.
do
had the best year of
though.
his career last year, basically. They're like, can't afford you, bro.
But the Rams owns the Nuggets, correct?
Yeah, for folks that don't know.
But the Rams don't act like this. And that just maybe because they're in Los Angeles.
Different cap rules in the NFL. I mean, the second apron, but like no one is gonna cry about the second apron when the guy that owns the Nuggets has like $100 billion. But like it's prohibitively expensive. Like losing Peyton Watson did save them like $80 million or something. So like just for this year alone, not to mention the years to come. So like I get it, but holy moly, man, both teams got worse.
Yeah, for folks who don't know, Stan Kroenke owns the Los Angeles Rams and Denver Nuggets. Oh, by the way, his soccer club just won an English Premier League championship this past year. Yeah, that'd be an Arsenal, who won the EPL title.
Yeah, and they probably make a lot of money, don't they? Arsenal,
probably
jersey sales alone.
It's a great jersey. It's a great jersey.
I need to watch the DNVR show. I'm sure the lads were.
Harrison was beside himself, man. He was not thrilled. Adam was trying to keep
it just straight up
bad.
It was a bad deal.
They won a title 3 years ago and have since then just lost guy after guy after guy, year after year for no reason other than I just don't want to pay you. That's it.
They signed Valanciunas. That didn't work out at all. Hardaway,
Hardaway did work out great.
Hardaway worked out,
He worked out too well.
Yeah, it worked out too well, because now he's gone now.
And what did he sign for? Tim didn't sign for a crazy deal.
He was on a minimum. He was on a vet minimum.
No, in Miami, I think like biannual.
They couldn't give him that. He couldn't get that.
They can't afford it.
They can afford it. They just don't want to.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But yeah, Denver. There's always one or two teams in the West and the East that takes a step forward and takes a step back. Even with Jokic, Denver could be in a situation where they take a step back because how much are you trusting Aaron Gordon to stay healthy? Can you bank on Jamal Murray having another all-star start, to a first half like he did last year? Cam Johnson was a disappointment for them in a lot Bagley
Jokic misses time, they lose. So
he
better play 75
And guess who's
games.
the backup for the Denver Nuggets, everybody? Marvin Bagley the third.
Oh, that's
baby. Marvin Bagley.
Man.
Come on.
I forgot about that.
He is the backup big. Well, I guess Zeke Naji.
Cameron Johnson went there and struggled. Zeke Naji can't stay healthy. Obviously. I mean, it's
if Jokic misses any time, good luck with that.
Like I said,
good luck with that.
Like I said, we're probably not going to get it after these FIBA games because the interviews will all be in Serbian, and if there's one question about the Nuggets, we'll be lucky. But like Nuggets media day, I really am very interested to hear how Jokic reacts to all this. He is the Nuggets. I mean, he has obviously outperformed any number 41 pick in probably any sports history, let alone the NBA's. But man, because everyone's talking about he can get a no trade clause in his next contract. It can be 300 something million. To get all of that, to get the no trade clause and the amount over 300 million, which would be the richest. I can't remember the exact number, but it's the richest contract in NBA history. Jokic has to go to unrestricted free agency to do that. He has to actually let this contract expire. You can't add. The NBA's funny like that.
So dumb.
The no trade clause, to get a full no trade clause, you have to have 8 years in the league, 4 with the same team, but also you have to do it in a new contract. You cannot add it to an extension. And what happens in the NBA? Everyone just keeps doing extensions, so you can't add it. So when Bradley Beal got that no trade clause a few years ago that everybody was going crazy over, it's because Bradley Beal actually went to unrestricted free agency and then got that massive like $250 million deal from the Wizards. 5 years, $250, including a no trade clause. A 5-year for Jokic is going to be well over $300 million, but he's got to go to unrestricted free agency to do it. Like, even if he's an unrestricted free agency for a minute, if you're a Nuggets fan or the Nuggets themselves, how does that not? The West is like, all our focus has been on the East and all of these players going East, but like what's going on in the West underneath the Spurs and the Thunder, like there's so much is in flux. It's really hard to get a read on.
Hello, Mavericks.
Yeah, this helps the Mavs.
Hello, Dallas Mavericks.
If you're, this is
everyone else is fighting themselves. I mean, guess who's not?
The gap between the Mavs and the 3rd seed is way smaller today than it was 2 months ago. The gap between the Mavs and the 8 seed is not that much smaller than the gap between where they are in number 3. Like, it is. The middle class is shrinking or growing, folks, whatever. 12 is close to 3.
Yeah, I think the Mavs comfortably should be a top 10 team in the West this year.
Comfortably.
I think it should be a
comfortably.
Look,
Underdog, put it on
We'll
a
do this
t-shirt
at some point, you know, down the road.
There's going to
but
be a lot of competition for number 10, as
Yeah.
we're finding out. It is.
like the Clippers stink.
No one wants to win.
Kawhi,
The Clippers are
once
not-
the
yeah,
whole
okay.
Kawhi thing gets situated, he's out of there. The Clippers stink. The Kings stink. The Pelicans stink.
I don't think the Clippers stink, man. I think Strus going there is really good.
Brandon Ingram.
Strus and Garland give you a lot of shooting around what Ingram's trying to do. I don't know. I'm interested to see them. And Ty Lue.
The Pelicans have kept all their guys. Like, they should not be a 26-win team. I don't know.
They don't fit together. They don't fit.
That's the story
They don't
of the
fit.
last
That's what
10
I'm saying.
years.
Like, they don't fit.
Tanner's like, well.
They've
Like,
kept all their guys. They are bad.
And they stink.
Now,
Like,
I do like Jeremiah Fairs. I do hope that he's better. But he is extremely young. Essentially, I think he's like Flagg. I think he might have did 3 years of high school too. And they didn't give him any help. I mean, I guess DeJounte Murray's healthy for them, but I think the Mavs are going to be better than a lot of those teams. And my biggest takeaway, as I've said 1,000 times, I'm probably boring everybody keeps saying it, the East is better than the West to me going into next season. It's the first time I think in my lifetime that's ever said, and people won't argue, you back on that. And for a team like the Mavericks, that has to be helpful. Like, it just has to be that the West is not the West when they were, what was it, like, I think 8 or 9 teams win 48 or more games. This is not that West anymore.
I think the Lakers are better, but I don't know how all the ownership stuff is going to impact the team.
Yeah.
The Timberwolves are
Who knows?
potentially better, but obviously their backcourt has improved tremendously, but now they've lost a lot of front court firepower, so we're going to have to see. Denver is in, saying the Nuggets are in flux is polite.
We'll see.
You like the Mavs better than the Warriors?
I think so.
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
Because Curry basically
Yes.
just goes down for.
I mean, the
Yeah,
Rockets.
if Curry gets hurt, it's over.
The Rockets are getting Fred VanVleet back, so
The
I think
Rockets
they
should
should
be
be.
good. The Rockets
They
should be
should
good.
be
Yeah,
a
the Rockets should be
50-win
good.
team.
Yeah,
for
Steve
sure.
Adams is back for them.
Yeah,
as
and
well.
I don't think the Clippers fall off as much as KG does.
We'll see.
Tyloo's good.
Coming up on the other side of the break, we continue our movie club review. Blue Chips, the 1994 classic starring Nick Nolte, Shaquille O'Neal, Penny Hardaway, and others. We talk about it, and we'll talk about it with you next on the DLLS Mavs podcast.
So I've been slacking on baseball this year, and I think that it's time that your boy maybe goes his first Rangers game. One, I think the food's really good at the stadium. But if you use the Game Time everybody, they play today against the Washington Nationals, a team that your boy did grow up loving. The tickets can start at $5, everyone, if you use the Game Time app. And it's only if you use Game Time because Game Time does not hide anything from you, everybody. It shows you the price and you can get nice tickets. The Game Time app gives you an advantage. Back to the fans, it's a hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experience in just a few steps, everyone. So if you're like me, you're like, man, I've been meaning to go, to watch the Rangers this year. I've been meaning to get to a game. Well, and you're like, man, I don't want to spend that much money. But for Game Time, everyone, you can find a ticket just for you. So take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DLS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DLS for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. And what time is it, everybody?
Game time.
Bark.
You guys love having fun, right?
Yes.
Yep. You really love our DLS Cowboys crew?
Yes.
Well, how much do we love
Most
them?
of the time.
Most of the time. And you know what? Today might not be one of those times because I'm jealous of them. You know why? Because they are having a fantastic time at WinStar World Casino
We were in a
and
cabana
Resort.
last
Cabana
night.
Boys.
The Cabana Boys are back. They did their thing today. Once again, our Cowboys crew was out there today doing their show for the final time before the regular season starts. But WinStar World Casino and Resort, it's a destination unlike any other. In fact, it's the world's largest casino, and it has over 10,500 electronic games. And by the way, it's just north of the Texas-Oklahoma border on I-35. So it's about an hour and a half from here where we are. You can go have some fun at the world's largest casino. So check out and go to winstar.com, the most updated information before your next trip at WinStar World Casino and Resort. Check out WinStar today. Welcome back to the DLLS Mavs podcast, presented by the Godsey Law Firm, as we get ready to continue our movie club review. If you missed anything during our show, you can go back and watch anytime on DLS Sports or download our podcast. Our movie club movie today is the 1994 classic Blue Chips. A couple of weeks ago, we watched and reviewed The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh. This week, we watched and will be discussing Blue Chips, again, made in 1994, starring Nick Nolte, Shaquille O'Neal, Penny Hardaway, among others, where a college basketball coach who has won 2 national championships, 8 conference titles, has his first losing season in program history and decides that he's got to break the rules a little bit in order to restore his program back to glory. And it takes us through the trials and tribulations of a head coach trying to save his program, but also battle the way that college sports, particularly college basketball, is starting to take shape with boosters and everyone else getting involved.
Chat, come on, chat, talk to me. Blue Chips, layup as a top 5 all-time basketball movie, correct? Anyone in chat who has seen Blue Chips is going to back me up and say automatic top 5 all-time movie selection, basketball. Your face suggests you disagree.
It's good.
I would say Bobby. I think Bobby has thoughts.
Well, I don't want to. I don't want to. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, we want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, go ahead.
But now respond.
Well, general overarching thoughts is I thought it was an interesting character study of a man who realizes that what he thinks is right is no longer the popular opinion, and he is so willing to stand by his morals and his convictions that he would rather quit in disgrace than continue, which that is interesting. Okay, the world passing you by, that feeling is interesting. It's aging, the world is changing, and this is 30 years ago, but our world is changing a lot right now. Here we are, members of the media, and I'm like losing sleep every day because of what AI is going to do to my job, let alone everyone else's job. So it's very relatable in that way, but I don't want to like spoil the movie right off the rip, but spoilers ahead.
Yeah.
I just can't agree with his decision at the end to walk away the way that he did. I think it was extremely selfish to take down the players with him. I thought it was I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that at all. But that's later on. I got plenty of other notes.
One, let's start here. You cannot spoil a movie that's that old.
Yeah,
it's impossible.
Exactly.
Well,
I don't care if there just is no spoiling.
Well,
movie
I think
after a year,
I kind of disagree, if only because like. Now, part of it was expectation because I thought it was going to be another like whimsical, kind of fun, like Fish to Save Pittsburgh style movie. And it kind of began that way. Like he's just melting down. Like I even wrote it down. One of the first things he says in the movie is, "I can't tell you how sick of basketball I am right now." And I'm like, bro, that was me for 2 years. All right. I was like, that is so relatable, Nick Nolte. But then like things keep happening and you're like, I genuinely have no idea what's going to happen. Like this mounting pressure and these lies, and he's just digging himself deeper and getting caught up with these seedy characters, and there's all this sort of like there's this tension between him and Penny and Butch McRae and Butch's mom, and like what all these things mean, and like is this house of cards going to collapse? And you keep thinking it won't, and then it kind of does, but not in a way that you would expect. So I do think that spoiling it can take away from the experience for sure.
Yeah, one, it was cool to see Penny Hardaway, one of my favorite players. Like I wasn't alive to actually watch live, so it was cool. So
it was a total shock to you when he came on the screen, or did you already know?
KG might have told me Penny was in there, so I had an expectation knowing he was in there, but I was like, okay, let me look for him because I didn't know how different would he look. I also did some background research and looked at this is essentially Shaq asked the Orlando Magic front office, hey, I played with this guy Penny Hardaway who basically was trying to get there, so he was passing the ball to Shaq throughout the whole movie, showing that he could set Shaq up. Shaq then, the Magic had the number 1 pick. They drafted Chris Webber, but then traded Chris Webber on draft night
too, Mark.
To get Penny Hardaway, which I thought is one of the coolest.
Don Nelson did that trade.
One of the just best sports kind of just stories. Like, wow, 2 young players playing the movie together, did not know each other. Well, Penny probably knew Shaq, but Shaq didn't know Penny. One guy's like, I want to play with that guy. Basically, like, kind of forced his way, like, hey, I want you to like me. I want you to like me. And it actually worked. Where then he gets there, and then of course they have the craziest fallout, which again Shaquille O'Neal just seems to be a part of every fallout, which probably is something about the key denominator in all these fallouts. But they did have a fallout, and he ends up in LA, and some people consider that the second greatest dynasty maybe ever in the history of basketball. So just all those things being set up in this one like fun pre-NIL sports movie, and I mean, and as somebody that is from, I guess, I don't know if DC's like the North, but let's just act like it's not the South. So DC, the North, just from what my perception was of Southern sports was like this movie. Like it was like, because we thought, at least from being where I'm from, Alabama, Georgia, LSU, everyone thought all those schools were cheating all the time. Like that was just the thought. If you were from the Northeast, if you're from the North, you said those teams in the South are cheating in football, especially. And this movie is like playing on that thought of like those teams down there are going to do whatever they can to win. And the Bagman, which sadly, if you're from Dallas, SMU with the Pony Express, got hit hard on that, the hardest in the history of college sports.
Death penalty, yeah.
So it really played on a lot of those like stereotypes as well. And I thought that was interesting. And yes, we did see Terry Rozier before Terry Rozier, allegedly.
I thought it was a very interesting examination on a number of fronts. Obviously, pay to play, college sports and the underbelly of what has turned into a multi-million, almost billion-dollar business when it comes to, college athletics and that type of thing. But also, it's an interesting examination of, cultures across America. One kid's from Chicago, where his mom is trying to, get her kids out of, to the projects and, that type of thing. You got another kid who's from French Lick, Indiana, who gets, obviously Larry Bird is from there as well. And then you have Nihan Boudreau from Algiers, Louisiana, and a very deep southern part of the country. Who was?
How did that rim not break when he just kept dunking on it and dunking?
It did like it was going to break.
It did like it was going to break over and over and over again. And then how all of these players are trying to come together for a coach who is as accomplished as Pete Bell is, while still maintaining his own set of characteristics and morals on how all that comes together. But I thought the movie was, I tend to agree with Bobby a little bit. Like, as the movie goes on, he loses. He has his first losing season. He's like, I got to find a way to get back to the glory. All right, I'm trying to go out and recruit these kids. He comes to find out if I'm going to get these kids, they got to pay to play. I got to pay to play. One mom is asking for a job and, a house. Another one, my man wants a tractor trailer and the kid wants $30,000. And then the other one, he's just kind of like, I don't even want to go to college anyway. Talking about Neon. So, yeah, my man quitting at the end. I'm with you, Bobby.
I think it was
don't throw the kids under the bus.
Yeah.
Don't throw the kids under.
Listen, I guess it obviously all depends on your perspective. This came out in 94.
Yes.
Right when I was getting started as a beat writer. And for one, all of this stuff in the movie wasn't as talked about as openly as it is now.
Mm-hmm.
But also, there was a comment up there somewhere about on cast alone, it's a top 5 movie. And that's kind of from my seat, because I think if there was a movie, like, I can't believe I'm blanking on the name. What was the
Fish That Saved
No,
Pittsburgh?
the Scout movie that when Sandler,
Hustle.
Yeah, Hustle.
Oh, Anthony Edwards and
so people got so excited that Ant was in it.
Yeah.
And Juancho Hernan Gomez, like when current players are like, I think if there was this is like, Shaq and Penny doing a movie in 1994 when Shaq is when they're Shaq's in the league and Penny's just getting there. Like, I'm trying to what would
it'd be like Coop Flagg at Duke and Wemby doing a movie.
That thing. So perfect, great, perfect. If Cooper Flagg was in a movie today, you would forgive all the flaws in the plot's not perfect and I didn't like the ending. You would forgive it because you'd be so excited that Cooper Flagg was starring in a movie, and that's kind of why I think I romanticize this so much. The cast of this movie is ridiculous. It's got so many.
Larry Bird was in there,
and you got Al Bundy, Ed O'Neill playing a journalist. Like, that's my favorite character in the movie.
Like, I like when the media gave him a standing ovation.
That was hilarious.
I was like, this
and so that's the guy from Modern Family, right?
Yes.
Okay, but I'm like, this has to be that guy.
But he was known before as Al Bundy,
Yes.
the patriarch of Married with Children. So and there's real journalists in the room with him. I think Alan.
Really?
I think Alan Malaman from the LA Times is in there.
And Dick Vitale was on the sideline.
So just
the young Dick Vitale.
The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh has so many things that are nonsensical, ridiculous, inappropriate by today's standards.
But it works. It's
yes.
campy.
but Dr. J is the star of the movie. And so it's like, and that's kind of the same thing here. Like, I think you overlook some of the flaws when Neon Boudeau is playing some pickup game, just tearing the rim down.
That was a great
every
scene.
2 seconds. Like,
having already gone to the army and like
it was cool and charming, and also
yeah.
Shaq's fits, by the way, were just incredible. He wore some unbelievable clothes in that movie, but like
and he looked great. Like
this
he was in
movie
shape,
just
little.
goes out of its way to say something. Like that's the thing. I want to see more of the basketball, more of the team. We got one game of Shaq and Penny. And then the whole thing comes to an end because they just spend 2 hours like, no, this movie is not about basketball. It's about Nick Nolte's psyche. And it's like, we're going to stop having fun so that we can moralize to you. And the conclusion they get to is so lame. And so that's why it's like.
What did you think about the basketball? Like the actual.
I thought it was good. It was too many fast breaks, but that's easier to film than actual action.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some of the plays they had drawn on the dry erase board they would not work.
That's that is the most.
You're just like, oh my
That
god,
is
what
the
is
most
it?
like analyst nerd take of all time.
I thought maybe the most apt thing and probably the most brilliant thing was like Nick Nolte is demanding that they run a motion offense, and Penny's like, "Can I please just get some isolation?" And Nick Nolte's like, "No, I'm gonna cut you because you want to run isos." Like that is the most old school hard ass. Like the game has passed you by, man. You've seen what Butch McRae can do in a gym if you just let him get his game off. And he's like, no, we're going to run flex until the shot clock is under 5.
That's so funny. Yeah, but I can see Stein's point because this is also pre-social media. Like versus like if that happened today, it actually might not be as big because people see Cooper Flagg on YouTube every day. Like Jerry McCain has like a YouTube channel. He's just like doing videos and working out with people. Like their players are so available.
I think you're right.
They were not available
but
back
I still
then.
do think that if Cooper Flagg was the star of a motion picture, people in Dallas would.
I have serious doubts about his ability to deliver a line.
But they wouldn't know that then. They would not know that. Like if this was Cooper Flagg in college,
Penny gonna win it? Was Penny gonna win an Oscar for this performance?
No,
absolutely. He did a much better job emoting. Now, granted, one could argue the reason that Cooper Flagg is so robotic and subdued is because he is so exposed to the world. He's been trained to not. Will there ever be another Shaq, for example?
Which is why this should be Yaxel Lindeborg in Wemby. Because Yaxel would be amazing in a movie, and I would go see that because Yaxel is box office.
Get Larry
like hilarious.
I do think in a
Larry
lot of ways
could be like one of the players.
Yeah, I do think in a lot of ways Blue Chips gave, especially you talking about Shaq and Penny being cast in this, it gave license to the idea for someone like Michael Jordan to star in Space Jam. Mm-hmm. Like Space Jam came out 2 years later in 1996, and
Charles Barkley was in there.
Yeah, like Shaquille O'Neal was. Obviously, former number one, former, pick, top of the draft and, was a star. So I'm sure Michael looked at it as like, you know what, if Shaq can do it, I could definitely star in my own, movie if there's, the right things to build around him. And of course, like you said, Charles and everybody else was in, the movie Space Jam as well. So
I really thought you were going to like it better.
there were a lot of parts I liked. Like I'll run through some of the things.
I'm genuinely shocked.
I'll run through some of the things that I really liked.
Genuinely shocked.
The bit where they had Larry Bird in the back of a parade car, that was really funny. And then it like cuts to Jim Boeheim, and was that Jerry Tarkanian?
It was
in there
Tark,
too?
yeah.
Funny that he's starring in in a movie about cheating.
I thought the same thing. I thought the exact same thing.
A little too on the nose there, but
I thought the exact
and then it
same
just cuts
thing.
to Nick Nolte, and he's just smiling at him with a
He's
devilish
driving the
grin. I
car.
thought that was a great bit. Shaq's clothes, like I said, amazing. Bobby Knight, unbelievable performance by Bobby Knight. I thought that was fantastic. I thought the strongest scene in the movie was right at the beginning, after the first game ends and he gets the losing season, and he just hates himself. And he goes into what we believe is his home, and he's talking to this woman who we believe is his wife, and it turns out that is not the case. But that their like sparring match was just so well written, so well done, and the fact that was like 10 minutes into the movie, again, I'm thinking this movie's about to change my life, and then it was just like, no, actually, the point it made is that the Fab Five should never happen again, and that like. If a kid cheats, we should just make sure that he drops out of school. And that was just a letdown.
I guess I didn't get the fact that he left his ex-wife's home and then went to some trashy apartment. I was like, you're on a college basketball salary. Like, you can't afford, a little bit better than some
I don't know what coaches were making back then.
He could afford a little bit better than
good
that.
money, right?
I think
They
he could
had to
afford
be,
a little
right?
better
I
than
mean, I don't know, maybe.
But
it's a movie.
I was
but
like,
Touche. As the person that criticized the play that was drawn on the board.
Well, I mean, it's a basketball movie.
Yeah.
The basketball better be top tier. You know?
I mean, the level of actual real life, NBA and college like Calbert Chaney was in there, and I hadn't seen and heard from Calbert Chaney in however long, and he was in there playing. Bob Hurley, playing for Indiana. Obviously, Bob Knight coaching, but Jim Boeheim, Jerry Tarkanian. But I think one of my big takeaways is I would love to see, and I told Tanner this before the show, I would love to see a movie like this be remade with today's implications as well. Like Blue Chips was ahead of its time in a lot of ways in describing what was happening, starting to happen with college sports, the money that's involved. I would love to see a movie of something along this, similar lines like made today and how it addresses what's happening, in college sports and how much worse really it's gotten. Even in the last,
I wish that he just would have fought harder to like reform the rules as opposed to just quit.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because like, I think that today's current transfer portal, NIL, blah, 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 like the players get money for their labor, and that is good. I think we all agree. But with it comes a whole new set of problems that you have to solve. But just being like, nah, man, no one should ever make, like the brave stance he's making is that no one should get paid to do this. These NPCs need to drop out because they literally did drop out. All of them dropped out.
Well, 2 of them went to the NBA.
Yeah.
Well, they dropped out eventually, yes, but like they were publicly humiliated and like, it's like, man, why do you have to,
the part that I guess I dislike the most, just because like it was a cool seeing them do the yelling thing, but I just basically it's like I'm just gonna snitch on everybody, and like that just
man, if you really respect the players, you wouldn't do that.
You just wouldn't do that. Just is insane. Like you can make that point, and you don't have to name anyone. Like who? Yeah. Who the he could have technically like left the program and not name anybody. The NCAA could not have made him, but they're gonna put you in jail. Like he never coached in college basketball again.
Just say I thought I wanted to do another year, and my heart's not in it anymore.
Like the NCAA like could not make him name anyone. Like it just isn't like legally he wouldn't have had to do that. We were going to use the Supreme Court to give him to name the players. Like it's not that serious.
And I mean, so like 10 years after this movie was made, remember Terrell Pryor was on public trial for getting a tattoo. Like the amount of like shaming and investigative stuff we as a society we're doing into college athletes was just insane, dude. It was completely unnecessary, and it's preying. I mean, you saw it.
This was just a movie.
No, I know. I wish that. I wish that he would have taken a more compelling moral stand than just being selfish and dragging the whole thing down with him. That affected my liking of the movie for sure.
And I'm a big part of the problem.
Well, I mean, some of the irony of it too, like, we talk about, Terrell says all they needed was NIL rules. Like the booster, my man, what was his name? Happy. Like he actually made the most correct point in the entire movie when he was at his car. And he was like, these kids make all this money for all of us. Yeah. They actually deserve a piece of this money. Like they need this. They deserve to get the money. I was like, yeah, that's actually the whole point of all of this. And him being kind of the villain was, for movie purposes, but he actually made the most sound point out of anyone in the movie, which was...
And those bagmen are legends right now in college campuses.
Yeah.
Like, SMU, how does it feel to be able to actually pay players legally now? They're now in the top 25 preseason rankings. Why? Because a lot of these rich people...
Why did Indiana just win the title? Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
T. Boone
No,
Pickens.
really, though. He was at the parade. Like, Mark Cuban was the biggest booster of the Indiana football team. A school like Mark Stein... Indiana was known as a basketball school for over 40 years. Like that was a basketball school. Now they're a football school because literally Mark Cuban has put so much money into that school that they're now a power for football. Like that just
Oklahoma
shows you
State
that,
Athletics is indebted to T. Boone Pickens, who has donated hundreds and hundreds of $1 million to the Oklahoma State athletic program over the years and continued to keep them relevant. Like boosters and the networks that they generate and create is unbelievable.
Is it all good and savory?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. But that's why you got to reform it. That's why you've got to legalize it.
Yeah, like
on a positive note though, too, before we get out of here in a couple minutes, seeing Shaq skinny was something.
Shaq was in tremendous
I always forget that Shaq was less than 300 pounds at one point. And that, while that sounds insane, literally my whole life he's been over 300 pounds. Like I was not watching basketball when Shaq was in Orlando because he wasn't there when I was born.
He wasn't on Earth.
So, and now he's not, in his old shape anymore. So even now, if I see him at a game, he's still, a bigger guy.
So your dad loved the movie?
Yeah, he said he liked this movie. Like he really enjoyed this movie. But again, like he used to tell me the same stories. Like the only way you could know about players, or in his case the Cowboys, was like reading the newspaper. Like every blue moon they come on TV, and it's like there was no NBA League Pass in 1994. So if you wanted to watch all the players, all the teams, all you had was NBC. When it was a nationally televised game. So like to get a glimpse of any player was so much more of a big deal then, which is also why I think movies like this were so good back then, because you got to see a player outside of basketball or outside of their sport. Versus now, again, like every player is vlogging. Like I've seen so many Cooper Flagg workout videos this summer. Like I won't even be like surprised if I see something happen now on the court, because I've literally seen him work on it like in video. Like nothing can surprise anymore. Like literally, before I saw the Spider-Man movie and before we'll probably see the Avengers movie, they've shown so much of the movie in the freaking preview. Like even movies, we can't go in and be surprised anymore. They show 40% of the movie, the big scenes, in the preview. So like, there's nothing that surprises anymore, which is, again, why like when these moments happen that actually surprise me, I'm like, you know what? That was dope saying that. Because I actually genuinely was surprised.
That's Blue Chips.
We got to rate it. 5 basketballs.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give it 3.
Oh, 3.5.
I think 3 basketballs. 2.8 basketballs.
Oh my God.
Like the ability for
4
my man.
4 plus. So 5?
4+ out of 5. Not quite 5, but more than 4.
What
So
about,
4.5
4.3?
basketballs. 4.5 basketballs.
What did I say? I think
Blue
Fish
Chips.
that saved Pittsburgh, I gave
5.
a 4 or 5. Yeah, I don't give anything a perfect score.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
I think I gave 5 for 4.8.
I gave like a
Yeah, I gave
4.5.
almost perfect.
I gave it a 4.5.
Yeah, I think I knocked it for.
I'm in the 4.3 to
racist
4.5.
I mean, Pete being able to look at his ex-wife directly in the face and in one sentence says, I'm crazy about you. But also she asked him dead on, did you cheat? No, I swear I didn't cheat.
That is what a coach does. Like,
that's what I'm saying. He was the whole.
Like, I don't like the meltdown, but his decision to drag everyone down with him
That was
is the
sick.
most coach thing. Like,
Yeah.
he is such a coach.
Yeah.
He's a dirty liar, an egomaniac.
What
and
we say,
damn it, I will pull all of you down with me.
Yeah.
In fact, you know what? 3.3. I think he's a
Oh
villain.
my God.
I think he's a villain.
Because we were talking about before the show, my man, each player that he went to, he was First Baptist in one place.
That was
He
hilarious.
was, Pentecostal.
That's very
in
coach,
one
though.
place.
Coaches do this.
Yes, I'm saying. Like he said,
I'm born and raised Catholic.
He was,
baby.
yeah,
Yep.
Catholic in another place. Like he
You guys are tough in this movie club, man. Tough graders.
No, I mean, I think 3's solid. I mean, also,
yeah.
there was a scene. He's like, he went to the coach to one of the schools. He's like, well, he's no mom, Abdul Rauf. And I was like, oh yeah, they would definitely not put that in the movie in 2026. If you all know what happened to Chris Jackson in Denver, I think around that same year, to my knowledge. The fact that they put that in a national movie is crazy. But again, 1994, not 2026. It also shows you think, man, the world's just the same, man. We can go back in time. Well, let me tell you, brother, you go back to some old newscasts, go back to some old movies, and you realize really in 20, 30 years, like how much things have changed, even if they don't feel like it.
Shout out to Mrs. McCrae, who was played by the legendary Alfre Woodard.
Yes.
Who was a gangster in this movie. She said, I'm going to need the corner office with the window view. I'm going to need the house with my kids.
She was in a lot of movies.
They were building her up before we meet her.
That's
they were
right.
building her up as this, like, she don't take no mess. And I was thinking, oh my God, this is around the time that Primal Fear came out. Wouldn't it be awesome if the judge from Primal Fear, and it was like, oh my God, it was like Leo.
Oh,
in that meme.
oh,
that's her.
Yeah,
That's her. Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was in it at first.
Alfre
So,
Woodard's a legend, man. Yeah, she was gangster in the movie. She's like,
Primal Fear.
I'm going to get
by
it
the
all.
way, Stein, have you seen that movie? Oh my God. Have you all seen that movie?
Primal Fear?
Primal Fear?
I've heard it. I
I
haven't
think
seen it.
so.
Richard Gere, Edward Norton, Laura
I
Linney,
think
Alfred
so.
Woodard. Oh
wow.
my God.
She was also in some Tyler Perry movie. I can't remember.
The Family That Prays.
Yes, which I saw
Great
just,
movie, by the way.
years ago,
Great
over
movie.
10 years ago, probably.
Just watched it last week.
She's just one of those faces you just see in a ton of movies. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is how she looked young, a long time ago.
Says that should be the first question at the Mavs next presser. How do you rate the movie Blue Chips? Ask it with no context given.
No, we are definitely going to be asking Mavs about
That should
their
be the
movies.
first question to every player's time. Nope. All right, cool. All right, shout out to our guy Tanner for making us look good and sound good as always. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We say goodbye to our guy Mark Stein for a little while.
Yes, but next week I'll be checking in on Anniversary Day. August 26th?
August 26th.
That Wednesday or Thursday?
It's a Wednesday.
Wednesday.
I think so. Early reports indicate that we might be having a pizza party. Would you like me to ship you a couple slices of pizza?
Nope, just enjoy heartily. What will be the pizza of choice?
A brand that will not be named.
Oh, yep.
Okay.
But also, I don't know. It depends on how much budget we're given.
Okay.
Tomorrow,
I don't know.
Thank
What
you,
are we
Tanner.
doing tomorrow?
We are paying off our big brothers, big sisters.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Okay.
Our donations that you all generously provide to us. So I will be doing one segment at some point tomorrow entirely in Peter Griffin's voice. So I'll go home and practice that today. Ron is going to be a referee for the entire show.
Hopefully it fits.
Bobby is going to be speaking in cliches for an entire segment at some point during tomorrow's show as well.
Yeah, we'll
so maybe we'll just talk to each other in
iron
cliches and Peter Griffin voice the entire.
We'll figure it out.
We'll iron it out.
And Mark Stein is just going to laugh at us because he partially made this happen by donating his own money. To making this happen. So.
Shout out Mark Stein.
Yeah.
You know what? 3.6 basketballs.
Oh my God.
I can be bought. All right. I'm no Nick Nolte. I got no morals.
It's not the Neon because Neon was like, I don't want the car.
If these grades don't pick up when we get to White Men Can't Jump, then we're gonna have.
I gave the fish 5 basketballs.
I gave Fish 4. Yeah, I gave it 4.
We're gonna have some serious issues.
Yeah.
On this set.
We have some bangers coming up.
Yeah, we still have. So we have Left Air, White Men Can't Jump, and what was our last one? We have Hoosiers.
I haven't. I've seen.
So
Air.
do Air next.
No, I think we already have the list. We already have.
What's next?
Bobby has the Excel sheet.
White Men Can't Jump, I think, was saved for the end.
I
so
believe
that's
the end. Yeah, I think Hoosiers is next. Let me check. Actually, oh God, I don't know. I don't have the. I don't.
It's fine.
It's fine.
We'll announce it.
Look forward to talking to you.
I forget what I named the
down
sheet
the road.
that's on. So I just cannot find it.
Something tells me I'll be checking in because stuff will happen.
Oh, so stuff will happen?
No, I just instinctively anticipate stuff will happen.
We'll be back tomorrow.
Trade for Peyton Watson somehow. He's gonna arrive here from Cleveland.
Oh wow. We'll be back tomorrow here on the DLLS Mavs podcast presented by the Godsey Law Firm. That's our National Media Insider Mark Stein, our DLLS Mavs analyst Bobby Curl, the DLLS Mavs beat writer Ron Harad Jr. on your man Kevin Gray. We will talk to you tomorrow at 12 p.m. right here on DLLS Sports. Y'all enjoy your Thursday Wings Fever postgame show on DLLS Sports later on tonight. Y'all be good. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.